Last week marked 53 years since Malcolm X was assassinated. He was an historic figure in the 1960s during the Civil Rights Movement. He gave voice to the anger and frustration a lot of African Americans were experiencing during that time. In a new TV documentary, we relive Malcolm X's most pivotal years. Take a look.
The dog attacks you, you get that dog, two-legged dog or four-legged dog.
Do you consider yourself militant?
I consider myself Malcolm.
A firebomb was tossed into the home of Malcolm X here in New York City early this morning.
I wanted you to know that my house was bombed.
Are you inferring then that because of this conspiracy, the attempt was made upon your life?
The attempt was made upon my life because I speak my mind and I know too much, and they know that I will speak it whether they like it or not.
I am at the Audubon Ballroom. Pandemonium is the only word that I can use to describe the scene here.
I want to kill somebody. Before the night's over, if Malcolm dies, somebody gonna die.
Wow, that is powerful, gripping video. And joining me this afternoon is the documentary's producer, Tom Jennings, and he's also the producer of the Lost Tapes series on the Smithsonian Channel. So, Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I mean, Malcolm X is a fascinating character, rich history there. And when we're talking about what we're going to see tonight, never before seen footage, the moment, the location where Malcolm X was assassinated.
Yes, it's remarkable that we found footage actually on the island of Maui.
You're kidding.
There was a radio reporter in New York City who was at the Audubon Ballroom, February 21st, 1965. He recorded interviews with people in the moments following Malcolm X's assassination. And he moved to Hawaii 40 years ago. He took all his tapes with him, put it in tinfoil and cellophane in a storage locker on Maui, sat there for 4 decades, and we lucked out.
Incredible that he was able to preserve it and you can still use it for this. What a gold mine. That's incredible. And so one thing I understand as far as the format of this goes, we're just seeing the media reports. You didn't have any sit-down interviews. I'm wondering why you took that format.
The point of the series is to make a viewer feel like they're living in 1963, for example. Without narration and no interviews, there's no opportunity for editorializing, and no one is telling you what it's like. You as the viewer get to experience it and decide for yourself what's on the tapes.
And without giving too much away of all the footage that you've seen, I'm sure it's hard to narrow it down. What for you was most striking or most revealing?
That he was such a critic, Malcolm was, of the March on Washington, put together by Dr. Martin Luther King. When it was over, Malcolm X went through and listed all the things of how people were manipulated into thinking the March on Washington was a good thing, when actually, in his opinion, it was a very bad thing.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yes.
So when we're talking about the series, how does tonight's program compare to past ones that you've worked on? Because you've worked on quite a few.
We've done many. We did one about the assassination of Martin Luther King. We found a bunch of footage in Memphis at the local stations there. This, I think, by far is the edgiest of all of the lost tapes, because Malcolm X is so political and viewed by people, different people in different ways, and everyone has an opinion about him. And we wanted to be as neutral as possible.
All right. Well, Tom, thank you so much for giving us this preview this afternoon. And you at home, you can see the Lost Tapes, Malcolm X, premiering tonight at 7 o'clock on the Smithsonian Channel. And if you can't catch it tonight, it will re-air this Friday, March 2nd at 9 p.m. When we come back, we're talking about that weather. It was so